Hello and welcome to the Black Dog Podcast 2, Episode 2. Yes! Episode 2.
Take 2.
Take 2. Yes. Second episode and we're already into technical fuckwittery. Yes! Here we are again. I almost made a joke about how do you think we'd get this far, but you know what? We already did that in the previous take and it was hilarious, I can tell you. It's so funny. Anyway, so hello everybody, I'm Lee.
Darren.
I'm Jim. And I am Elton.
Hey, there you go. We got through it this time. Woohoo! And yes, so this week we're going to be doing our usual How was your week in lockdown? How are we doing in isolation? And have we all gone mad yet? And then we'll have a little bit of feedback from last week's episode from you guys out there. And then we'll move on to this week's movie, which is The Disaster Artist. We might also do a bit of a double bill with The Room, as Elton didn't actually know what The Room was last week, and he does this week, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, no, I was familiar with The Room. It's like I'm familiar with Star Trek.
You know it exists.
I know of it. I haven't seen most of it, so yeah, it's. We'll save that for the discussion, though.
Yes. Okay. Brilliant. Okay. Cool. Well, anyway, so we'll get all round to that, and yes, and we'll also try and decide what film we're going to watch on streaming service this week between now and then, because I don't think I've actually got one lined up. So that's all good. Yeah, it's nothing like a bit of unplanned nuttiness just to keep us going. So anyway. Hello, everyone. So we're going to see how everyone's week's been, and we'll start with you, Elton. How's your week been, sir?
What have I been doing? The most thing I have been doing is catching up with Better Call Saul.
Right. Okay.
Now, is anyone watching this?
I'm still one of those people who hasn't seen Breaking Bad all the way through. So I don't know of. I know of Better Call Saul as a spin-off, but I've never actually had the need to see it because I don't know who he is.
Yep.
So I haven't, because I never got past season 1.
What stopped you from getting through season 1?
His wife. I just couldn't stand her, and I absolutely hated her. And I just thought, well, I can see where this is going, in terms of everyone's going to hate her by like season 2, and then by season 3 something awful is going to happen to her, and I can't wait that long for it to happen.
You want instant results.
I want Bryan Cranston to basically up sticks, turn evil, and fuck off by the end of season 1, and he didn't. And she was still passing around talking pillows, and I was just like, "You are the worst human being on earth." You
wanted him to stove her head in with a tire iron, didn't you?
Yeah, or at the very least, have her help out with that bath full of blood and guts and everything that falls through the ceiling. They're spoilers for season 1 of a series that's 10 years old. So I just know. I'm finding my tolerance for bloody awful characters and bloody awful people really, really low.
You might want to stick to just season 1 then, mate, because trust me, there's a few times when you look at Walter White and think that as well. Yeah, he's not really that much better. He's turning it on season 3 of it, and I'm starting to think that the whole thing is actually moral. Sort of like, it's Jesse's show than Walter's.
Yeah.
I like Jesse a lot more than I like Walter. I really do.
Okay.
Walter's a bit of a cunt. that's saying it lightly.
Okay. Cool. Well,
Walter gets what Walter wants. That's it.
Well, that's saved you a bit of time. But anyway, carry on, Elton.
I won't spoil anything whatsoever, because that's that wouldn't be cricket, would it? No. But I came into Breaking Bad very late. I think it had all been completed, and then I ended up watching it. But I went in there blind, not really knowing it, because I hadn't paid any attention on the social medias about what was going on. And so ended up watching the whole lot in not in one sitting. I bought the DVDs, and once I finished them, then I went and bought the next season DVD and sat down and blitzed through that. But it went right up to the top of the pile of TV that I absolutely adore. Now, Better Call Saul, he is a spin-off character from the Breaking Bad. And I wasn't expecting to like it as much as I did. At the moment, I think we're on season 5, and this season, and looking back on the whole of the other seasons as well, where you see where it's traveled from and to, it's up there with Breaking Bad. It's almost surpassing it in some respects. There's so many characters in there that you're like, oh, I like that. Oh, I wonder what that person's going to do and this person's going to do. It's just possibly one of the best TV shows on TV at the moment, and I cannot rate it highly enough. I think it's just brilliant, and everyone should take the risk on watching it, because for me, getting into it, it was a risk, because I was just looking for something else to watch, and it was nice to have a familiar face, but I wasn't too sure because I didn't like Saul in Breaking Bad. He just wasn't a character that I thought would really capture my imagination. But this, watching his journey, you're like, yeah, it's so good, and I'm so glad I took the dive onto it. So that's what I've been watching, and I would recommend everyone go out. If you've seen Breaking Bad, go out and watch that.
Do you need to, apart from knowing that this guy's called Saul, do you need to know anything about Breaking Bad to really get into it?
No, that's the beauty about it, I think. You could watch it as a standalone. Right. And not have any Breaking Bad knowledge. Actually, yeah, that it perfectly stands on its own as a show, and it has a different vibe to it. It really does. It's shot in the same way. You still get beautiful shots, like standalone shots where you're like, oh, that's a screen background for your computer for the next month. That type of shot. Yeah. Or it could be a movie poster, or it would just look good framed. But it is a standalone. Thinking about it, yeah, it is a standalone thing where you have inklings of crossover, which is fair, and it would be wrong if it didn't. But they're not too hard on the nose that you're like, that feels out of place and forced. It has a narrative that works really well, and it feels fluid and natural.
Okay. So, because the thing is, these sort of things, if they rely too heavily on the thing they've been spun off from, then, that's almost a barrier to entry. But if you tell me that Better Call Saul is actually really good, then I'm happy to give it a try. But if it relies on you knowing, oh, that person who just walked past, it's a nod and a wink, I just might sort of skip it or wait until I go back to Breaking Bad because it's permanently on Netflix forever and a day.
Gotcha. No, it doesn't have that nod and a wink. If it gives you a callback to Breaking Bad, you kind of know that that's a Breaking Bad callback. Even if you weren't going into it, I think you would know that it is a Breaking Bad spin-off. They mention a person's name, or you see a person, you're like, okay, that must be from that. That makes me intrigued to go back and watch Breaking Bad.
Okay.
But it's not too on the nose that it's, well, this character just turned up. I wonder what this person's going to do. Oh, we know what happens in Breaking Bad. It's not like that. It's not like that at all.
Right. Not, oh, Walter, if only you weren't so good, you would have gone off and made a meth lab, I'm sure, in the future. Wink. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, there's nothing really like that at all.
Right. Okay, fair enough. Cool. Anything else, sir? What else you been doing?
No, just keeping the wheels of industry turning. You're welcome.
Yeah, well, lovely. And can we have an update on your biscuit situation? I saw there was a bit of a disaster on the biscuit front on Facebook.
Yes, a biscuit broke off and ended up going into the cup. Everyone will be pleased to know I salvaged the biscuit by drinking the cup of tea and then drinking the biscuit at the end.
Can I ask, by the way, because, concerned minds do want to know, what was the biscuit? What kind of biscuit?
It was a digestive biscuit.
Digestive.
Now, was it brand type, or was it straight out of the old the corner shop?
There's a question. I'm just going to say digestive biscuit.
So it wasn't a Happy Shopper biscuit, was it? Or nothing like that?
Wasn't a disc of sawdust and glue, no?
No.
Digestive biscuit.
Oh, we're calling into question the biscuits. Here goes our biscuit sponsorship.
There's no chocolate involved this week.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, our McVitie's delivery will be late this week, I can tell you guys. Black Dog, brought to you by McVitie's biscuits. They never break off in the tea like these shitty ones that Elton has. Anyway, okay then. Well, okay, we'll move on to Jim then. How was your week been, sir? How's things been?
It's all right, I think. Just ticking along. The general background weirdness.
Yes.
As I said before, very little has changed for me apart from I'm actually busier.
Oh, right.
I'm a bit jealous, really, because everyone else seems to be at home just wanking. But, and then moaning about it on Twitter. But some of the things don't stop.
Yes.
I have been sort of having a bit of fun playing around with RetroArch on my tablet.
Oh, yeah.
And doing kind of the next leg of some research for my history video game series, looking at some old games.
Nice.
But mainly I find with sort of the emulation thing, there's a bit of a kind of, I don't know, it's my techie genes coming out, but it's kind of, right, you have to work out how to configure this so I can use a controller with it and get this old game running. Then you get it running, go, yep, brilliant, do another one for that system, yep, got it. Right, let's try something else and fiddle with that instead.
Yeah. Yeah.
Kind of now I can completely perfectly emulate with a gamepad on my Android tablet, Mega Drive games, NES games, SNES games, Atari 2600 games. Most Spectrum games, they can be tricky because you need a keyboard, but a Bluetooth keyboard will do the job. So my next project is trying to get Arcade Gauntlet working.
Oh my God. Oh God. Soon as COVID quarantine breaks, I'm coming around your house forever. I'll just be stuck in a corner going, retro games, there's my precious. Oh, man. Seriously, tell me you haven't got a 64 round.
I'm thinking going the full hog and when all this blows over and I'm not having to watch pennies because everything's uncertain, of maybe buying a Raspberry Pi and then getting like a proper setup hooked up on the big telly downstairs. Last night I found, using the mirror screen thing, I was playing Spectrum Fred on the big telly in the bedroom.
Fred? Oh,
yeah.
My God.
The cut price Indiana Jones. Actually, kind of probably Tomb Raider's granddad, really, actually.
Wow. Yeah.
Come to think of it.
Yeah.
Still a fun game.
Oh, my God.
So yeah, there's lots of fun, lots of fun tinkering, and RetroArch can do all sorts of mad things, like put on the CRT scan lines on. And actually put blur on the screen to make it look shit, just like old tellies did.
Yeah, chromatic
Which
aberration.
I'm not really kind of that purist. I'm happy for things to look nice, not fuzzy and ruin my eyesight, like I did back in the day in the 80s.
Yeah, sitting 4 inches away from a 20-inch screen.
Yeah, but yeah. So if you're looking to emulate games, looking to add RetroArch, you can get. You think after RetroArch, you can get it for every platform you can think of, and some you can't. You can install it, say, PC, Mac, tablet, mobile, Linux. You can load it on a boot drive and load it from USB. You can load it onto a Wii, even Xbox, PlayStation.
Wow!
And it's all free. Yeah,
amazing.
It's if you're looking for a retro games emulation, Retro Archie is where it's at.
Retro Archie, yeah.
You can put that on an Xbox.
What?
Believe so.
Did you say?
Yeah, you can put it nearly on nearly everything. It'll go on to. Yep, and it's it's open source.
Yeah.
Retro Arch.
Retro Arch, right? Okay.
Two old men start to look things up on the internet. You can almost hear you almost hear it launching in. Yeah, go on.
There's a little bit of a learning curve, but generally any questions you've had, somebody else has had already, and there's lots of YouTube tutorials that will show you setting it up on different devices.
Oh my
and
God.
Whatnot. It's not too bad once you get your head around it, and so you can sort of. It's designed to work with kind of your standard game controller, with a D-pad, 4 buttons, 2 shoulder buttons, analog sticks, start and another button. There's kind of most of the cores and the games are already kind of sort of mapped them out already for you. So a lot of kind of just plug and play anyway. It's only a few, particularly like Spectrum games and like computer games with a lot of keys where you might need to fiddle about a bit more. But yeah, a lot of fun, and it's a lot of fun just tinkering with the thing, really, and then finding old games and trying to get them to run.
Oh my God!
And how best to run them, because you can't, unlike on the tablet, you can run it with it'll show you put an overlay of a virtual online controller, which is all right, but I find a physical controller is better.
Yeah,
but that's just me,
Yeah.
But if you're on the go and you want a quick blast or something, you can soon. That does the job.
Yeah,
Darren.
Darren.
Just make sure you wipe down the screen and disinfect it.
Yeah,
using a touchscreen in these dangerous times.
I was going to say, I can only get so stiff. I'm sorry. After completing Pornhub 3 times, I've got to say, oh my God, Darren, they've got an Xbox One version.
Have they?
Yeah.
Oh my good Lord! Hold on! No, don't tease me. Okay, don't tease me, man.
Xbox One version.
PS4 one.
No, that's the only. There's the only version they don't have. PS4. There's even a version that you can download onto a Switch, Nintendo Switch.
Motherfucker.
Oh my life. Okay, right, fine. Well,
there's even like something called Lacquer, which is basically RetroArch as a Linux-based operating system.
Oh.
And I've got an old netbook from years ago, which I've just put more RAM in, and I might I'm considering blatting that completely from the version of Windows and just having a purely little mobile retro machine.
True Arch emulator on Xbox One, no jailbreak.
God.
There's a catch.
Okay. My life. Oh, Jim, what have you done to me? What have you done? Okay.
That'll keep you busy for a while.
Yeah.
It's an exciting, interesting world. And once you get in the world of the Raspberry Pi, where you can do all kinds of things, and there are things online to show you how to build your own cabinet.
Oh my God. Oh, okay.
These Raspberry Pis are dirt cheap. They're stupidly cheap.
Yeah, I'm looking now. Jesus. Sorry, go on, carry on.
I think that'll do. I think.
Yeah.
There you go.
Wow. Next week, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be having a Speedball 2 tournament. Everyone join in. All around my house. all around my house for a Speedball 2 tournament, and then a game of what's the other one? Not FIFA, was it? It was
Sensible Soccer.
Sensible Soccer.
Sensible. What about Yale Kung Fu? Should we have that as well?
Yeah. Well,
Way of the Exploding Fist.
International karate, my friend. International karate.
Be very careful typing "Way of the Exploding Fist" into Google.
Yeah. Rule 34 dictates that you will never work in that place again.
As long as you don't put ing on the end of it, then that's fine.
And on that note,
and as for Fat Worm Blows a Sparky on the Spectrum, well,
oh my life,
yes. Yeah. I played that game, but I do remember that game.
I do remember that game. The quote unquote amazing animation of a tiny little white worm on a black background wandering around doing a very slow version of Centipede.
Right.
I don't believe this. It does a GameCube version.
Yeah.
It does a PS Vita, PSP, PS2,
Yep.
Apple Mac, Xbox One, but no PlayStation 4.
Well,
Disgusting.
Well, that's because, PlayStation is just the worst in that terms. But on the plus side, they do it on a Mac.
And it should just work because,
it should just work.
It should just work. That's it. Yes.
Yeah, that's it.
Shouldn't be any problems there, should there? No, it should just work.
Yeah.
Got a problem with my Mac. Oh, I'm sorry, sir, but it should just work.
Yes, we are. Anywho, right. Before he gets into the Apple hate. So, is that it for you then, Jim? That your week?
That'll do me, I think.
Lovely.
Absolutely. Got some light into the world, I'm pleased.
You have. You've made a happy man feel very old. Right. So, Darren, on to you then, sir.
I actually did something this week.
Oh, good Lord. Go on.
Actually did something, and I did post photographs of it, although they were quickly taken down because there are certain rules on X on a Facebook that you can't break. So, but the other thing I did was I did some baking.
Okay.
I actually did some baking,
and how is
very successful?
How is the kitchen? Is it still in one piece?
It is very much in one piece.
Yeah.
It's no explosions, nobody lost an eye or anything like that.
Right.
The only thing we did do was gain some weight after eating this stuff. I made some banana muffins. Muffins, and they were fucking gorgeous.
Really?
Really nice. Yeah, did them. Got a recipe from I think it was the Tesco's website. Did it all, mixed it all up, put it in, baked it. Came out, they were wonderful. And that's when I found the icing gun in the cupboard. Oh, now I had some just icing anyway. I went out and bought some because we were just going to spoon it on, just smother it over these things. But I remembered there was an icing gun in the cupboard. And I got it out. And yes, there it is. So I had fun doing swirly icing on top of them as well. And by the 12th muffin, I think I got it down pat. I've never done icing from like a tube or a gun or one of those things that made of cloth that you put it in. I'm not sure what the fucking hell they're called, but
a sock,
piping gun,
a piping gun. Actually, yeah, a piper. From one of those.
Yeah,
but I actually quite enjoyed myself. It was quite sort of like, look, just like that sketch from Newman and Baddiel. I don't have to paint in the lines. Look, I can paint outside. Do that.
But it's
sorry, go on.
I was going to say it's when you lay them out and then Ree comes in and looks at your ones and goes to her daughter. Oh, you did such a good job on the icing.
Oh no, she came into the kitchen and said, "You do know the icing's just got to go on the muffins, not on your nipples." And I said, "Oh, damn, I've been caught." But no, apart from that, yeah, it worked out very well.
Nice.
They were really. I'm so proud. I'm going to try some more. So this could be Darren's new craft corner.
Oh, right. So
what's crockery corner?
Crockery corner.
Yeah, crockery corner. I could be getting a little bit sort of, sweary in the kitchen. I could be our very own. I was going to say Gordon Brown, but no, Gordon Ramsay. Sorry. I've made some cakes. I had to go.
I dropped in under budget.
Yeah. Who was that awful woman? So we got the Great Barnard Bake Off.
We got a Great Barnard Bake Off.
There you go.
I got 2 words for you. YouTube channel.
Oh no.
No, hold on. I could do that, but I was going to lead actually into a YouTube channel that's kind of connected to this sort of thing. I was looking up stuff online, recipes and stuff like this, and I came across this comedian. Apparently, his comedian name is Nat's What I Reckon. Nat as in N-A-T, right? So his actual name is Nat, but his official stage name is Nat's What I Reckon.
Right.
Now, he's a comedian who's done a bunch of cookery YouTube videos, and he's really good at cooking. He tells you how to make things like, because he's waging a war against things like jar bolognese and stuff like this. Stuff you get in fucking packets.
Oh no, not things in packets.
He's showing you how to actually make these things properly.
Go on. What have you done? What have you done?
Sorry, it was the machine there. Right. Sorry, flipped out for a second. I've got it under control. So yeah, look him up and have a watch.
Right.
I did put one on my Facebook wall. It was about I think it was carbonara sauce he was making or something like this. It's a bit sweary, so don't show it to the kids. Unless your kids are a bit sweary, then fine, fuck it, whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a guy from Australia. So yeah,
okay,
very good, very funny. So I shall probably be following some of his recipes at some point. I'll let you know how I get on with those.
Okay, cool.
So, moving on from that.
Yeah. 2
video games that I did done play this week. Okay, again, abusing the Xbox Game Pass. One little bit of a trip back in time to the days of a game called Eye of the Beholder.
Oh, yeah.
Eye of the Beholder-esque. There's a game called Bard's Tale 4, the Director's Cut, on the Xbox. I think you can get it on PlayStation as well. And you can either play it like the old Eye of the Beholder, which is where, you press left and it kind of turns very mechanically. It's all sort of like 90-degree angles, you turn that sort of thing. Or you can go on free look and play it that way. But the combat is basically turn-based in it. And it's really good. It's like the puzzles and everything like this really kind of get you involved. Doing door mechanisms and stuff like this and trying to get things open. It just, I don't know. I mean, I've played a lot of role-playing games on the Xbox, but this one just, I don't know. It just, there's something about it that's actually quite good, quite immersive. So it's standard fantasy fare, you learn spells, you gain a bard. It is the only game, though, that I know of where one of your characters actually gets better the drunker they get. Because you can actually, it says on one of the spells, I posted this on Jim Williams' wall, I said, Bard's Tale 4 is actually your game, Jen. And I posted this picture and it's got the name of this wine that you can make that helps you with these spells. Yeah. And it's got must be trained in, and then it's got booze at the end of it.
Nice.
So yeah, it's good. It's not anywhere near as comic as some of the other Bard's Tale stuff that's been out there, but it's still good. It's a good solid adventure. Yeah. And the music's really good in it. It's got like this really sort of Celtic music in it. You can look up the entire soundtrack on YouTube. So just look up Bard's Tale 4 soundtrack and have a listen. And there's some real sort of like epic sweeping stuff, but then there's also some good sort of fight music that they put in there as well. Some of the more faster tunes. Yeah. And it's all sung in I don't know what the actual language they're using in it is, but it is Celtic.
Yes.
Of sorts. Well, okay. You'll hear it, and if you have a listen to it.
Well, I've been listening to there's a video game music show on every week on Scala Radio, which is a digital radio station, Scala scalaradio.co.uk I think it is, and they do games music every Saturday, and it's I think I've heard it already. It's really good, but it's
really sweeping stuff, some of it. But like I say, then you get into the sort of like the bit where you've got, you can imagine sitting in an inn and listening to some of this stuff.
Yeah, cool, nice.
Yeah, that's it.
So what platform is that on?
That's on, I think it's on just about every single one go. I think you can get it on the PC, you can get it on the Xbox, PlayStation 4. Let's have a quick butchers, shall we?
Well, I tell you what, I'll have a look. You carry on with your week.
Okay. So the last game that I played, I didn't expect much from this, but I ended up really enjoying it. It's called The Untitled Goose Game.
Oh, yeah.
I take it we've got some people here who are familiar with this.
Yes. I've seen this game in action.
Yes.
Great. Just a quick explanation for anybody who's not actually played it at all. You get to just unleash your inner git in this game. You play a goose that's just a complete and utter bastard to people.
Mm-hmm.
You just get out to cause trouble. That is the whole aim of the game. And I must admit, going through it, I actually found that there were quite a few characters that were just asking for it.
Yeah,
you know, like the little boy. You have to shut, or you have to trap this one little git inside a phone box.
Yeah,
missions. But yeah, you've got various things you can do. You know, you can sort of like, you can run along, you can walk, you can duck with the goose to go down and pick certain things up. But you can also do things like spread the wings and honk at people. You know, so you can intimidate them into doing what you want, that sort of thing. But the first thing I did was as soon as I started the game, I found somebody's boot on the floor and I took it and I just dropped it in the bush. It wasn't a mission. I just felt like I wanted to do it. So there we go. Even though there's stuff there, it's like, well, that's obviously something I can pick up, and I don't need to pick it up, but I'm going to pick it up and I'm just going to drop it in a lake or something. You know, I'm going to smash it against the wall.
Yeah. Oh dear. Hold on. Oh well. Sorry. Just that badoop was basically Craig, the bot, going, "Oh, I failed to join." Oh no, he's going to start talking in a second. Oh no, he's not. He just shut the fuck up.
He will.
No, it's all right. It's fine. I've been unexpectedly disconnected. If you want me to stop recording, please command me to do so. With Craig, leave. Anyway, fuck Craig. Let's carry on. We're all good. Sorry. Behind the scenes stuff, ladies and gentlemen.
Untitled Goose Game.
I'm
just looking at formats here now.
It's on everything, isn't it?
It comes on just about everything.
Yeah, I was going to say, the one thing I know about Untitled Goose Game, which is perhaps a little bit off the beaten track, is that the person who made it also made the Untitled Goose Game Windows helper. Yes, which Katie...
What's that like?
Well, it's exactly what you'd expect it to be. It's a goose on your desktop being an absolute cock end. And you can activate it, and basically you can be sitting there working away, and then suddenly this goose will just wander on the screen, grab hold of your mouse, and then just fuck off with it. Or you'll be working away, and then all of a sudden it will just drag a window in if you're on the browser. And it will just drag a window in that says "Geese are great." Or if you're on a Zoom call, you'll be talking on a Zoom call, and it will just suddenly go honk over your top of your microphone. It's an absolute fucker. But the thing is, I didn't know about it until it sort of first turned up, and yeah, my daughter had put it on, and then I'm sitting there sort of trying to do this 3D, ultra fine, like move this thing by 2 degrees because I'm doing some internal building works, and all of a sudden this fucking goose comes along, grabs a mouse. And because I've got my Alt key pressed down, flings the whole model like 60 feet off to the left. The bloody screen crashes. Then he brings on a notepad that says, "Pay me more attention. I want eggs. Honk." And it's just like, you fucker, you absolute cunt.
So there we go. He gets the vote from all of us then.
Yeah. It's better to be the goose than be hounded by the goose. I can tell you that for nothing.
Yeah.
So there you
go. So if anybody's interested, it's on the Mac, it's on Windows, it's on Switch, it's on the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One as well.
Yeah. And Bard's Tale is on all console platforms except for the Switch. So there you go. Looking it up. Brill. Okay then. Well, is that it, Dale? You all right?
Yeah, that's it. I'm done, man. I'm
done. Cool. Well, then, just my week. I've finally got up the get up and go to assemble my drawing challenge for while I'm in lockdown, and when I get a free moment, I sort of do a little bit of it. I'm not going to do it one a day, but I'm trying to. But it's failing miserably, so I'm just going to try and get through the list. So, which is to basically do 30 stills from 30 films, randomly picked by people on the Black Dog group, and then there was people on my Facebook wall. So I've got 30 films, and I'm starting to do these paintings, and they're taking way too long. So basically, if I get to 10, I'm going to be happy. But by the time we finish lockdown, maybe I'll get all 30 and do them again. But yeah, so I started that The list is up on the Black Dog group, and I'm starting the first painting, which is Life of Brian, which was randomly picked. I did a random number generator and picked a frame, and I've got a picture of John Cleese in Roman armour coming through a doorway. So that's a thing. That's a thing. You'll be able to see it. I'll post it up on the group, and I'll post it on my Instagram and Facebook wall and ArtStation and everything once it's done. Other than that, I've finished the first of the DLCs for my Spider-Man playthrough. So that's good. So yeah, having some rather complicated feelings about Black Cat because they are trying so hard to pander to a certain demographic with that model. She every time she appears, it's just a flurry of bum and black leather, and you just like, I feel bad for even admitting what this is doing. Like, no, just stop it. So I've done that. And then I've watched a couple of films. I did watch The Room. Which, yeah, we'll get to that, I'm sure. Because the Disaster Artist. But also, I watched two other films. Well, what I did was on Fridays we tend to have a movie night now with the girls. They get to pick whatever they want, and we get a takeaway. Because apparently the only thing other than nurses that are still around are delivery riders. And so I left the girls to pick one, because usually what happens, I don't know about anyone else's family, but you get presented with Netflix, Amazon, Disney Plus, TV, 15,000 channels, half of which are movie channels. You just sit there and go, no. Do you fancy that? Not really. That one? Oh, well, I've seen that, I think. No. Is that the one with? No. Don't like the cover of that one. And you go on for about an hour. So I walked out the room, came back, and they had picked a film. This week's film was Olympus Has Fallen. Has anyone seen Olympus Has Fallen?
No.
No.
Right, okay. Imagine this, right? Die Hard in the White House. Okay? Now imagine this. Die Hard in the White House, where the guy who goes in to save the president when the White House is taken over by the North Koreans, right? Who in a subtle way, smash a C-130 plane into the Washington Monument. But anyway.
Okay.
Yeah, it's very subtle. Basically, it's down to Gerard Butler to go in and basically rescue the president, who, through various convoluted means, has basically trapped him and his own, chiefs of staff in a locked bunker in the basement of the White House with the North Korean terrorists, who are trying to get him
accident or deliberately.
Well, I think it was kind of not deliberate, because they thought they were South Koreans. So there's a weird racism thing going on there of you all look the same to me kind of thing. But
how should I which goddamn way these Koreans are pointing?
Exactly, yeah. I haven't got a compass. What are you talking about? So, yeah, he ends up in a bunker with all these North Koreans who are basically beating various members of staff up to try and get 3 nuclear disarming codes out of them, because there's a computer program in the bunker which, when it activated, can disable all nuclear weapons across America and basically make it open to attack. And there's no other way of disabling it apart from inside the White House. That's it.
Right.
Then what happens is an hour and 30 of this. Yeah, fuck you. Oh, they're well trained. Oh, fuck. Ah. And then it ends. It was rubbish. It was. Yeah, it was. It wasn't even that kind of entertaining rubbish where you sit there and just go, oh God. it literally was a case of, we want the codes. And there's some poor woman who's got one of the codes, and they're beating her up, and the president's looking, and he's going, "I've got the final code. Give them your code, Cynthia. They won't get the code from me." It's like, oh, right. Oh, well done. So Cynthia's willing to die, and basically die with the codes in her hand, her code out of the 3. But the president will watch her get beaten to the ground, and just as they're about to kill her, that's when the president says, "No, give them the code, Cynthia, because I have the final code, and they won't get it out of me." That's the kind of writing we're dealing with here, and it was quite amusing because one of the girls were watching it, and they're saying, these days, if that happened, like the secret agent man who going in to get the president probably would have just left him down there because he's safer, because the world is safer with him down there.
Yeah, would have joined in. Let's be honest.
Yeah, probably would have just filled in the entire bunker with concrete.
To a live press briefing near you in about a fortnight, I hear.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
you didn't hear that?
No. Oh God, here we go. So so we watched that. And then yesterday, I watched Underwater with Kirsten Stewart. And that bloke who was in Deadpool, his mate, the one with behind the bar, I can't remember his name. The goofy guy.
I'm not sure. Oh, yeah. He was in, what is it? Silicon Valley.
Yeah, that bloke. Yeah.
Yes, I know him. Yeah.
Anyway, again, it's another. I think my hearing must be going because I spent the first 20 minutes of this film just going, "What did they say? What did they say? What the fuck? What on earth are they saying?" And basically, it sounds like what they've done is they wanted to go for the immersive experience in the cinema. What the basics of the film is it starts off literally within about 30 seconds of this base at the bottom of 6 miles down in the Marianas Trench. It's a mining factory or something. And within 30 seconds, the base is suffering from earthquakes and whole bits of the station are collapsing. There's water everywhere. People are getting crushed and blown up by decompression, and it all just kicks.
Kristen Stewart keeps floating away like a sideboard.
Yeah. She basically gets blown. I mean, every time she gets blown up, and it happens a lot, the cameraman decides that that's the time they want to do it in slow motion. It goes into this every time. It seems like she gets blown up. She gets blown backwards by a door being shut, explosive decompression or something like that. And every time the soundtrack goes boom. And she moves very slowly, at like it's being filmed at 2,000 frames a second. And she just flies through the air very slowly, and then it speeds back up again. And for no real reason, I don't really get why. I mean, it's like we've seen people get blown up and thrown through the air before. I don't think it's a new thing in cinema.
I refer you to the wit and wisdom of legendary producer Dean Lerner. Well, the shows were running under time, so any scene without dialogue was considered for slow-mo.
That's about right, I think, because the first, like I say, the first 5-10 minutes is all just chaos. Everything's just blowing up, and then what happens is the film finally settles down, and they realise they've got to get off. The survivors have got to get off this station before the nuclear reactor goes critical, and they've got to walk across the seafloor to this midway base, and then where they can refill their air, and then they can walk to the final base where they can get to this submarine, the rescue sub, and that's cool. That's fine and dandy. Pretty generic kind of thing. But the problem with this film is that it's got there's other things in the water, unsurprisingly. And that are causing all the explosions and chaos and, killing people and generally hunting people down. And it's all done in this kind of murky, grey, underwater sort of landscape, which is really cool. If you don't like being in deep water and you don't like tight spaces, this is not the film for you. Absolutely not. There's more than a few moments of you kind of like, you know that bit in Aliens with Lance Henriksen going down the pipe? And he's kind of like in that tiny little pipe. And he's kind of...
I hate it. I hate that bit.
Well, within 2 minutes of the film, once everything's exploded, there's a bit where Kirsten Stewart and 2 other survivors have to go through this bit where there's like 4 levels of the building of the base have collapsed into this 2-foot square gap. Essentially, they've got a 2-foot square gap, and they've got to kind of shuffle through it. And there's all this water raining down on them, and there's also a dead body sort of squished in between them. And they've got to kind of shuffle through on their shoulders, and it was really well done. I mean, I'm not super claustrophobic, but even I was like, "Oh God Almighty!" It was like the end of Borderlands.
Oh man!
It was real kind of, oh my God, I don't think I can do this. If the rest of the film is going to be like this, I don't think I can do this. And there was a couple more moments like that. One with a tunnel and something in it. And anyway, the creature design is interesting and unique. But the problem is the film's very generic. The action is scary when it catches you unawares, but everything you kind of feel like you know when the scares are coming. You know when suddenly the camera's like stopped focusing on the main character, and it moves so that they're like on the frame left, and there's just a big empty space of black, and you think 3, 2, 1, and there's your monster. And there's lots of moments like that where you know pretty much signposts it. By the end, though, it does have a couple of moments that, shall we say, people of a literary lent, such as yourself, Jim, and for example, Michael Cornett and Fred Lubno, that may give you some idea where we're going here. Justin Woodman, these scholars of a certain writer of sort of like early 19th century horror weird fiction may get a little kick out of what starts to appear at the end, and it, so it's got some interesting moments, but you know, after an hour and a half, I came away thinking I should have been more entertained than I was. You know, it wasn't B movie enough to be a B movie, but it wasn't scary enough or intense enough to be an A-list proper recommend it to everyone thriller. You just sort of sat there going, oh, that was quite nice. Oh, that was quite nice. Oh, that was interesting. And Kirsten Stewart wasn't that bad in it, to be honest. She was okay. I was just constantly annoyed by the fact that once they're out in the deep water, sometimes when they fall over, and I know it's kind of almost intentional, but things happen and the camera's so close to them, so close to the characters, that you don't get any sense of where they are in relation to each other. So you get these moments of kind of like 5 minutes of, well, where the fuck are they now? I don't know where the fuck they are, how the fuck they know where they're going, or what anything is, or where they are in relationship to the base they're going to each other, to whatever creature is. You know, there's nothing. And they might as well have just been standing in a black room going, I'm by the base. And then 5 minutes later, standing in the same black room going, I'm by the fridge. It's just like, what? Where are you? I don't fucking know. I can't see.
I am over by the door.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I am wearing a hat. Can't you see me waving?
I'm proceeding to the kitchen.
Exactly.
I have put my left foot in front of my right foot.
Yeah.
I am now putting my right foot in front of my left foot.
Yeah. But it also has a couple of weird cliches where they turn around and do this sort of underwater thing of, oh, my oxygen's running out. And, you know, when oxygen runs out in one person's suit, it's like, I can't move. I'm going to die. And then when it runs out in someone else's suit, they just pass out and they get revived like 6 hours later into the film. And you're like, why didn't you fucking cark it the same way the other person did? But that's the thing. When you start picking up things like that, you kind of think, yeah, you failed it a bit. But it's, you know, it's not the worst film I've seen, but I was kind of expecting something a bit schlockier. There's a couple of nice deaths. and a couple of nice kind of gory moments of kind of like, ooh, I don't like that. But yeah, one guy, and it's not really a spoiler, but one guy actually gets basically pulled out of his suit through his shoes.
Nice.
which is quite a shocker, because it does kind of go, each sort of 1 minute he's there, next minute you just kind of hear thump, and his suit just fills up with blood, and you're like, oh, he just appeared to have just been pulled through his own shoes.
Really?
Yep. Yeah. So there you go. But anyway, so that's that. So yeah, underwater, it's kind of, I don't know, middling. It's a C level plus.
Nice.
Yeah. So yeah, apart from, so that's it really. Bit of drawing, 2 movies, neither of which were particularly great. But definitely avoid Olympus Has Fallen. That's fucking awful. Yeah. That's about it. Apart from my daughter making cakes, so you know she's making more and more cakes, and the house is turning into a death trap for anyone with any kind of sugar intolerance. But it's lovely for me. I'm going to come out, like I say, I'm going to come out looking like Thor from Endgame by the end of this film, by the end of the thing. But
yeah, I think we're a bit like that at the moment.
Yeah. Right. So anyway. That's that for our week. Now, before we move on to before we move on to reviewing our film, we did ask for feedback, and from last week we got some feedback. I would run a feedback jingle, but you know I haven't been prepared because I'm an idiot. But we have 2 pieces of feedback, and the first one was from Gareth Lloyd, who wrote to tell us that it was great to have us back. He was saying that it's great to have you back, talking about one of his all-time favourite films. He first saw Enter the Dragon in 1974, and even then, when it was an X certificate, the owners got so fed up with the local kids begging to see the movie at the height of the Kung Fu craze that they virtually phoned the local police station asking if it would be all right to let the kids in, and the police said it was fine. So it was virtually full of kids. I love the 70s. That's what he says. He goes, I love the 70s. I've always been, this is Gareth, I've always been so impressed by Bruce Lee and Jim Kelly. I've never given John Saxon that much time. But watching it again, you are spot on. He should have been a bigger star. So cheers, guys. Thanks, and good to have you back. Have the Black Dog back and about again, Gareth. Well, thank you very much for that, Gareth. And I do think I saw another thing with John Saxon on telly the other day. I can't remember what it was. I just flicked across and he was on like late night telly, and I'm thinking, oh wow, oh what was it? I can't remember what it was now. Or was it? Oh, it was a trailer. No, it was a trailer on Amazon for Battle Beyond the Stars. That's right. I saw him and I was like, oh bloody hell! I wanted to do it again. I want to do that film again. Actually, I don't want to do that film again. Anyway, thank you, Gareth. And we got another Gareth send us in a feedback as well. This was Gareth Thomas from the old Black Dog days, known as Gareth the Proton Thomas. So he's the only thing more positive than a COVID virus result. So he's super positive, and he says, welcome back, gents. So pleased that you are doing your thing again. I'm glad you're safe and well. I'm so much like Elton, it's not even funny. Well, there you go. I think if you see them side by side, you dispute that. But anyway, Gareth carries on. He could be my brother from another mother. I'd seen this film in part, but really enjoyed it this time round. It was quite strange, as you guys said, with the makeup of the plot. It seemed to me that the actors had ticked all the martial arts boxes on their CV and now be given this role thinking, shit, I'm going to have to fight now. I hadn't given much thought to the mirrored room scene until you guys had brought it up, and at first I thought it looked cheap and nasty, but as you guys said, without the modern processes, it was very clever back then, which it was. That was a very good point brought up last week by Jim, wasn't it? That room scene was just like, what the fuck? How did they manage that? Anyway, Gareth continues. I think Darren mentioned that Bruce Lee would have loved the accolade from this movie when it was released. However, I think he died 6 days before it was released, so he never experienced it. He was indeed very lean, fit, and apparently in great shape. It's such a waste to think that hash overdose, cerebral edema, poisoning, triad assassination took Bruce Lee far too young. And it's amazing how he and his films have shaped many more that have come after it. Anyway, stay safe. Welcome back. And I've got it round the wrong way. You went, welcome back, stay safe, stay home, much love, Gareth the Proton Thomas. So there you go. So thank you, Gareth. There you go. Yeah. Indeed. And that's kind of how the feedback works nowadays, ladies and gentlemen. You listen to our podcast. If we brought up anything you think is interesting and you want to point out yourself, send us in some feedback for next week. Right. So that's that. And now, we're moving at quite a clip. We've almost got here before an hour. It's time for this week's movie. This week's shut-in cinema is The Disaster Artist.
I see it's nearly 5 o'clock. I'm here at home, my work's all done. No question where I'll be tonight, a place of cinematic fun. It's the lockdown, but I will not pout. Oh, my friends, I won't be seeing this out alone. There's Lee, Elton and Jim and Darren, all sitting far apart for social distance. We're at the shut-in cinema, down in the bunker of shun. Down in the bunker of shun.
Hey fellas, it's been nearly 5 years. You gonna let me out now or what?
No. Right, okay, so The Disaster Artist, which we watched on Amazon Prime, if anyone's got that or wants to watch along. It's currently available. So, The Disaster Artist is a 2017 American biographical comedy film starring James Franco, from a screenplay written by Scott Neustradter and Michael H. Weber. The film is an adaptation of Greg Sestero's and Tom Bizel's 2013 non-fiction book of the same title. The film chronicles the unlikely friendship between budding actors Tommy Wiseau, hello doggy, I'm Mark, and Greg Sestero. The results of which resulted in the production of Tommy Wiseau's 2003 classic, in inverted commas, The Room, widely considered to be one of the worst films ever made. I think we had agreed that was the case, but it was gloriously bad, I think. But anyway, The Disaster Artist stars brothers James and Dave Franco as Wistero and Wiseau, and alongside a supporting cast featuring Alison Brie, Ari Grainer, Josh Hutchinson, Jackie Weaver, and co-producer Seth Rogen, who gets, for my mind, the best line in the film. Yes, and the film was filmed in 2015 and released in 2017. I won't go through the whole shebang, as we'll probably discuss that, but it had a budget of $10 million, which is actually more than The Room by quite a margin. And how much do you reckon it made, Darren?
7p in a button.
Not The Room, The Disaster Artist.
Disaster Artist, right, yeah. I don't know, 15 million.
Okay, Jim?
36,000 green screens.
Nice. Elton?
I reckon about 30 million.
You are bang on the money, sir. There
Really?
you go, yeah.
Ow.
Yeah, it made 3 times its money back. So there you go. It also stars Bryan Cranston in it as a cameo, considering we were talking about Better Call Saul and Breaking Bad. But anyway, so yeah, it covers the years when Greg Sestero starts off as learning as an amateur dramatic actor, and meets Tommy Wiseau. It's going to be weird trying to review this film, isn't it? Because basically, it all comes down to the same question: why? Doesn't it really? From start to finish, everything can be summed up with why. I mean, what did everyone? Firstly, let's get the important bits out of the way. What did everyone think of the performances? I mean, especially James Franco as Wiseau.
I thought he was great. I think he got it. But I mean, I believed him. You know, that's it. I believed he was Wiseau by the end of it. You know,
yeah.
So his portrayal just very, very convincing.
Especially considering we've actually met him.
Indeed, we have. Yes, we have stood
by the man
within
himself.
arm's length.
Yes, exactly. And what about you, Jim? Did you find his Wiseau particularly convincing?
I thought it was very, very good. I'll be honest. I mean, the second time I saw it, so it's kind of the first time I thought, yeah, that's pretty good. Until they do the bit at the end with the scene by scene comparison.
Yeah.
And then you realise, actually, it's not just good; it's spot on. Considering Mr. Tommy has, shall we say, such an unusual accent.
Yes.
And accents aren't easy to do at the best of times.
Yeah.
I've seen established accents make an arse of themselves just attempting to do a simple regional accent.
Yeah.
Hats off to Mr. Franco. That you know, you should have got an Oscar for this performance in my book.
Well, yeah. I mean, this is going to be an interesting one because I want to find out what Elton thinks because you've never seen Tommy Wiseau, really. If you haven't seen The Room,
I haven't seen The Room. No, because it's one of them films where it came, it went, and it sat in the subculture of movie reviewers, and I hadn't heard about it until you guys had decided to do it on the Black Dog. And I forget when that was. That was years ago, wasn't it?
Yeah, that would have been like 2015, 2012, something like that. So really early days, sort of thing.
Yeah, and then it had a resurgence and started doing the rounds on certain shows that I listened to, and I think at that point I decided, okay, I can live without watching this because of the reviews. I was enjoying everyone's reaction to it. And I felt if I watched it, then I'd just be, if I spoke about it, I'd just be covering the same old ground again. So I just decided not to watch it. It's just one of them things of, no, I'm not going to put myself through this. It's crap. Well, it's meant to be crap. Why should I do that to myself? I'm enjoying everyone else getting a kick out of it. I don't. There's something there that I just didn't want to ruin for myself.
But then, I mean, if you've never seen The Room and you've never seen this Tommy Wiseau character, how did that performance come across to you? I mean, you're watching James Franco doing this really ludicrous, make my hair wet and make me look good thing.
Well, I've seen bits of, I've seen all the classic bits from The Room anyway. It's like Apocalypse Now. I've seen bits of that before I'd actually watched it for review. And you know, like the money shots, and with The Room, there are no money shots, but there are.
I don't know that arse
are highlighted. They're highlighted in like fluorescent pen, and I'd seen them. but I hadn't really paid much attention to them. But I kind of knew what character I was getting into. I've heard interviews with him as well, and you kind of get the vibe coming from him and the people around him. People fucking love this dude, don't they? But watching, I wanted to go. I'm really glad I went into this movie not watching The Room, because I think it gave me a different perspective of this film. It's a slightly, I know what they're talking about, but it's like I'm underage to go see the movie. I'm watching them make the movie, but I'm not allowed to go see the premiere of it.
Nice.
It works in my head anyway.
Okay.
But yeah, overall, I thought Franco was great.
Which Franco?
I thought, do you know what? It was maybe 10 minutes into the movie going, they look alike, don't they? I quickly IMDb, oh, okay. And then it got to that bit where he's standing in front of him and he's just got his dick hanging out. That must be quite awkward to film.
Yeah.
Which, that was one of the bits that really made me laugh, is when somebody goes, is he fucking her in the navel? And it's like, we all said that when we saw the original Room.
Yeah. Yeah, it was, just get a shot of my ass. It makes it real.
My ass is selling the film. So,
Actually,
they all give that in the cinema when they're watching it, and they all give the same reaction of ooh.
It's when they do it on the set as well, and they're like, ooh.
You should be about 6 miles south of that area.
Just a bit.
They'll be in the blast zone.
Yeah. So okay then.
Epicenter.
Yeah,
no.
Yeah. You're wide of the mark, Tommy. No, never mind. I mean, overall, Darren, what did you actually think of the film itself?
Well, it's, I don't know. It certainly gives you an impression of what Tommy Wiseau is actually really like. Because I got the impression that he was, because he's quite a mysterious character, right? Nobody knows where he comes from. Nobody knows how old he is, right? And nobody knows where his money came from. Man has got, apparently, tons of fucking cash at his disposal. Right? He's not wanting for anything. So where the fuck did that money come from? Right? But all in all, I got the impression of him being actually quite lonely in general. You get that impression that he puts on an awful lot of front for what he is. And there's those bits where he sees Greg getting closer to Alison Brie's character, and you see his reaction to it. And if this is true, right, if what we see there is true, if that part of the story is true, then yeah, it's he's just a very insecure person.
Yeah.
You see him, he sits in there. He's not like, I don't know if you can call him a narcissist, really. He's, would you call him a narcissist? Would you call Tommy Wiseau a narcissist? Or would you just call him someone who's just a very fragile ego?
I'd say he's more like an introverted extrovert.
The thing I always get is this sense of a man who was, I don't know, I don't want to overthink it, but it always gets me, it always strikes me as one of those guys who was always stood beside the cool kid, and then basically ends up sort of just finding out the only way he could be the cool kid, or the only way he can get attention, is just by doing his own thing. And but the problem is, I can't get past the fact that I also think he's got some kind of mental damage.
Yeah, I think he's definitely got issues.
It's fucking not kidding, but There you go.
He got issues.
I mean, what did you think, Jim? Do you think he's got issues, or is it just I don't know?
I mean, having watched this a second time, and so I watched it with Teresa, who hadn't seen it, and she's not seen The Room. But it's interesting. She had a kind of Road of Damascus sort of conversion about halfway through from thinking, oh, he's a mentalist, he's a prick.
Yeah.
To thinking, well, actually, he gives Greg everything with no strings.
Mm.
And it's kind of, saying that no one knows where his money comes from. And it's kind of, we sort of talked about afterwards, and we thought, well, it can't be anything shady and really dodgy because he doesn't have that ultra transactional mindset that real crooks have.
No.
At all. I mean, I know he gets arsy with Mark when Mark's effectively sort of, going to move out, and
yeah,
there's a conflict of interest there, and he acts up a bit. But to be honest, the smooth stories I've heard about movie sets and what a pressure cooker that is, even though he was losing it at one stage, it was pretty low key at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And actually, he put up with a lot because he was hearing everyone talking behind his back, calling him a creepy Dracula motherfucker, and it was fine. And we sort of thought, well, our theory is that maybe he said he has a car accident. Maybe that is true. And maybe that's why he talks the way he does. And maybe he is actually from a very rich family who've effectively disowned him, because he does have a thing about, he's lonely, but and when he feels betrayed, that really cuts in. It is a theme in the movie, betrayal as well.
Yeah.
And it is something it runs deep with him. And he's generally, though, we thought kind of, he's a bit weird, but actually he's a nice guy. And he's very unaffected. And he's kind of, you know what I mean? For someone who's got like a bottomless bank account, that makes even more of a mystery in a way, because he doesn't behave like a rich brat or like someone who's done really shady things to earn a fortune. And he is sort of quite innocent in his way. He's naive.
Yeah.
He believes in himself. And what I thought was it was towards the end of the movie, I was sitting and realizing this story is actually almost like a complete parallel for Ed Wood.
Yes, actually. Yes. That's a very good point. That's actually...
The difference is Wiseau has lived to sort of get the acclaim.
Yeah.
That Ed Wood sadly never got. You know what I mean? And kind of he appreciates his place in history, and he's kind of, he's owned it. And at the end of the day, he's not got that big an ego to go, oh yeah, I hate you all. You do not get my art. You're all villains. He's gone, okay, you laugh. I make you happy. I'm happy. Yeah. Which, that's quite, I thought actually, the first time I watched it, I thought it was just really funny and bizarre. But this time I actually came away thinking, actually, that's quite kind of like an uplifting movie, a story of friendship and believing in each other and, making the best of things, even when, you don't even, not cards, life dealt you bad cards, but, you don't even know what the cards are.
That's true.
There is that bit in the, when he's trying to teach Greg how to, just to inspire some confidence, just to get him to come out of his shell. And they sat there in the restaurant and they start performing that scene from the book.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter how bad it is. I mean, Tommy's point there is basically, you're going to have to do this in front of people anyway. So what's your problem with doing it here in front of a restaurant full of people?
Yeah.
It's that. Let that go. Just do it.
I mean, that was the thing. I think that was part of the problem I had with the film in general. I mean, I did enjoy the film, but one of the things I had was I couldn't work out. And I don't think the film could work out, or whether Greg could work out, or whoever wrote the story, whatever. But what the film couldn't seem to settle on was whether or not there was, whether or not this relationship was harmful to Greg or not, or whether or not Greg was really just naive, or whether he was deluded, or whether, because there are a few times when that passive aggressive thing that Tommy does just seem to be like, wow, come on, man, just fucking get over it, will you? Because just sort of like, he's gonna, Greg's gonna move out, he's got this, he's got this toilet, and
there's a toilet just over there, don't you?
It's just for me, and all this sort of thing. And you listen, and then there's that whole thing of like, oh, your mum's crazy, and let's go to LA. And there's something that's kind of rather inspiring about the fact, just do whatever you want to do because you can do it, and you'll never get this second chance to do it. And there's something quite inspiring about that, regardless of how the world looks at you. Just fucking get on and do it. And from that side of it, it's really cool. But on the other side, Tommy kind of always strikes me as a kind of emotional leech. He kind of locks onto Greg, and even though he doesn't ask for anything from him, and even though he does things selflessly, there's kind of how can I put it? There's like a passive sort of. It's sort of almost an acknowledgement, Greg will be there for him to be his friend because he has done these things for his friend.
He needs Greg.
Yeah, sorry, what was that, Elton? Sorry?
He definitely needs Greg.
Yeah, but it was
he kind of... There is a bit of using in there as well. I think that we see him at the stage and Greg's really struggling, and then he puts on this massive over-the-top performance, which Greg is kind of drawn to.
Yeah.
Because he's looking to break out as well. Greg uses Tommy to lift the barriers that are kind of holding him down. And that's why he pushes himself forward. They do that pact and push each other forward. But then as soon as they get to LA... Tommy needs Greg to go to LA, but then he also needs him to get an agent. But as soon as he's got the agent, that first conversation is, "Oh, get me in touch with them. Yeah, put my name in there." Yeah. So he's kind of helped him, push him forward for his own benefit. As soon as that happens, he's like, "Yeah, I want a piece of that action as well." And when it doesn't happen, he kind of mocks him as like, "Oh yeah, well you got the agent. I just try and work hard." Blah 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 blah. So they are kind of using each other, but I don't think in a malicious way from each other. It's kind of, it's like the sharks that swim with the little fish underneath their mouths. They're both there to help each other out. The fish clean the shark, and the shark provides the food. It all kind of circles around each other and helps each other out. But the thing with their relationship is they don't know that they do that.
Yeah, they're kind of emotionally blackmailing each other without knowing it. And and they're kind of. Yeah, they can't live with each other. They can't live without each other. It's weird because the other thing I'm kind of having problems with is I don't know if you remember, Dal, but when we saw them both at Prince Charles, Tommy's like this kind of he's exactly like he is in the film. He's kind of this kind of very out there, up front, kind of just says what he says, does what he does, gets on with it, and just doesn't give a shit. But when we were there, and Tommy's up doing his business and sort of playing to the crowd, Greg is standing there, and he just looked like he was done with this shit all the way through, didn't he? Remember when he's on the stage?
Well, yeah, it's like when I had my photograph taken with Tommy, right? Okay, I'm standing there with him, and it's like me and Tommy, right? And it's like, I don't know. It was like, the reverse of a vampire. You see, Greg Thunberg wasn't there, but when I had the picture taken, suddenly he's standing right behind me. I was like, where the fuck did he come from? A horror film, they have like a picture taken in a house, and there's like a line across someone's face or something, then they kind of die. It's like, I think I've been cursed because I've got this strange ethereal figure standing over my shoulder. It's like, is there a legend? I'm going to look this up on the internet. Does he appear just before somebody has a bit of an accident, or I don't know, maybe a bad pint in the pub or whatever? Maybe that's it. He's a bit low rent on that one. It's just like, oh, you're going to have a sandwich you're not going to like very much. Oh, take that.
Yeah.
to go.
But
had the Greg appear in there. Or maybe that's a bad sausage roll from Greg.
Nice.
You know one's coming. You know you're going to get one in your lifetime.
Yeah.
But when he appears in a photograph over your shoulder, that's it.
No.
He's like that. What's that character from that Japanese Sudoku or whatever her name is? The one that climbs out the telly.
Oh, Sadako.
Sadako.
Yeah, that's the one.
Nice. But
it's a bit like that.
Yeah. I mean, what about? I mean, for a film about the making of The Room, did anyone feel like they actually knew everything that went on in that thing? Because it kind of, to me, felt like the film was getting made, and you saw a couple of crazy moments from it, like the sex scene and like Zac Efron as the as Jackie R, and then the film just sort of went, and then it was made. Seth Rogen got fired, and then it was made, and it was just like, oh, that what? Okay, I kind of felt a bit sort of. It's kind of weird. It's kind of almost like to me. It felt like the film kind of got to a point in the making of the film and just went, you know what? Fuck it. Everything else isn't nearly as interesting as this. Just jump to the end. Skip to the end. Come on, let's have the positive outcome at the end. Did anyone else feel that?
I think this was just to cover the bits that everybody in their mind snap to when they think about The Room. It's like the mum's breast cancer. And even the actress is going, we're not going to go back to this at all. This is it. We're just going to have this in this scene, and that's it. We're done with it.
Yeah.
There's that. There's the Lisa, you're tearing me apart. And it was interesting to see where that came from. You realise where he got that.
Yeah.
Which is James Dean's performance in, is it Rebel Without a Cause?
Yeah.
In that, right? So there's that whole thing of, you're tearing me apart. It's his version of it. And I did like that bit also when, I noticed acid flashbacks, but it's where at the end, you see him, it shows you right at the end, they shoot one of the final scenes for The Room, and he's fucking the dress on the floor, and the woman goes, "Oh, I was going to take that." Seth Rogen's like, "No, don't, no, leave it." But yeah, I think it just covers the main. It covers the main sort of like the hooking points of that film, the things you remember the most. The Lisa, you're tearing me apart. The can I have the roses? Oh, Johnny, I didn't realise it was you. Hello, Dougie. Yes, it's me. That kind of thing. And I didn't hit her. I didn't. It's bullshit. I didn't hit her.
I did not.
Oh, hi. I did not. Yeah. Oh, hi, Mark.
I have to say that was the funniest scene in the film when there was like take 65 line, and then there's the entire crew going, I did not hit her. I did not hit her. It's a lie. It's bullshit. I did not hit her. I did not hit her. I did not. Hi, Mark. Yeah, I mean, it was quite interesting. It was quite interesting, that sort of stuff. I mean, how true do you reckon it is, really?
Oh, I don't know.
All true.
I don't know. I think this might be a yes minister situation where you're only actually getting a fraction of the madness.
Yeah. It's like the Wolf of Wall
I think I think kind of the making of the movie, they covered all the bits you want to without actually. Because if you did actually think the making of the movie, that'd be a very dull movie. Because movie sets are very boring.
Yes.
You can stand around all day and not get a shot and crap like that. So it is kind of. I think they sort of did it. They showed you enough, if you know what I mean, but without. Sort of pulling focus away from the main storyline, which is the relationship, and ultimately the reaction the room's going to get, not the ins and outs of the making of it.
Yeah, I mean, okay, cool. I mean, yeah, I guess the problem is, I think for me is just that there's so many crazy things happening in the film that you almost think, I almost wanted to see more of the back of the crew going through the crazier scenes actually in the background, because they started off with like that whole thing of like, yeah, great take, great take, and you just know that they're obviously finding it pile of shit. And then Tommy comes out with that kind of, I hear you all talking about my film, I hear you all talking about me sort of thing. And then and it's like, but actually you only do that in one scene. You kind of hear that, and you don't really get the sense of the how can I put it? That the crew is kind of collapsing because of the way the film's going. It just seems to be like sort of, it's only that sex scene where finally everyone just has enough of Tommy's arseholeness and just goes, in more ways than one, and just goes, no, you're fucking bang out of order. And that's when I sort of, where my sense of him changes as well. That whole thing of he can't see what he's doing wrong, or he won't acknowledge it. And I was kind of like, well, if he knows what he's doing is wrong and he just not acknowledging it, then he's an arsehole. And if he can't see what he's doing wrong, then he's got some real mental problem and shouldn't be doing it anyway. And
well, I think that's part of the flow of the movie, though, isn't it? Because I think it's definitely made with love for Tommy himself, isn't it? It has that. This is going to hold him up on a pedestal, and the room as well, the film itself, and everyone collaborating with it, and even the backroom staff as well that have actually made this film for you. But you have to kind of break this character down. You have to, you're introduced to him, you're quizzical about what this character actually is. And then you have to really knock him down. He has to turn into the bad guy, and then not saying like redemption towards the end when it's all said and done and really happy and look, they really love your movie. It was really worth it, all that fucking weeks of shit. But it is a journey where he is knocked down, and the film does take a bit of a turn where you're following the production of the film, and I was really enjoying it, watching the backstory to actually making the film, like the alley scene. But there's an alley over there. No, we shoot on the stage. But then it just gets darker and darker and darker, and Tommy goes down this little rabbit hole of despair, and you can feel everyone's eyes just crawling in on him. But once it's done, it's over. All that release, all the energy has been released from that, and you feel, okay, this was kind of worth it.
I mean,
but yeah, there is a definite journey of him, but they do have to knock him down in the middle to kind of bring him back up at the end.
Okay. So you saying that by the end of it, you did feel sympathy for him? You felt like it was actually like you came out at the end at just going, oh, great, well done, you succeeded.
No, I didn't feel sympathy for him. No, it's different. It's different to that. It is, like I said before, they were kind of using each other, but not knowing that they're using each other. Everyone has their MO about what they want to do, where they're going, and why they want to do that. And I didn't hate any single character in this whatsoever. I thought I was going to go into this movie and go, oh, that bloke's a prick. Oh, that bloke's a prick. Oh, that bloke's a prick. God, that bloke behind the camera, he's a wanker. But I didn't. I was really surprised and stunned as to how much I loved every single character. I thought the Greg, I thought he was going to be a massive bell, but he wasn't. He was like one of the sweetest guys there. And yeah, it's that whole journey of just getting towards the premiere where you're not expecting it. I didn't expect the premiere to go that way. I thought it was, I didn't even know where it was going to go. And I suppose it was kind of cliche that he walked into a hero's welcome and everything kind of worked out. Does anyone know if that would have actually happened in the premiere or not? Would have people cottoned on to it actually being a cult there and then?
Well, no, apparently, because I did some looking up, because like I say, I watched The Room again, and just to sort of get a sense of it, and remember some of the bloody awful things in it. But what I was going to say was, I looked up the wiki, and that premiere basically almost 50% of the audience walked out before the film had finished playing.
So the premiere in this film could be the prolonged cult that has grown after that.
Yeah, I think this is a fabrication post ironic viewings, and everyone knows what it's like, because apparently the cinema almost lost its money on that premiere because Tommy had bought these seats, and then what happened was like 50% of the audience had up sticks and fucked off and asked for their money back before the film had even finished.
Right.
So that whole thing of an entire packed cinema and everyone laughing was actually complete and utter, complete and utter fabrication, basically.
Mm.
So, yeah. I was going to say, what was it? What did you think it was that kept Greg coming back? Because even after like losing that whole Malcolm in the Middle thing, which maybe is not the biggest thing in the world, but it was certainly a big thing. What was it that kept bringing him back? What kept bringing him back to Tommy? Has anyone got a theory on that?
Well, it could be the fact that Tommy was standing outside his place of, wherever he was that one time. I think it's because he just turned up again.
Yeah?
He walked off and that was it. He didn't see Tommy after that. Tommy came looking for him. Just with the whole thing of him needing Greg.
Yeah.
So it's not so much him coming back to find Tommy, because he's so annoyed with him. He just walked away, and it's like, that's it, I'm done.
Which is, what had him coming back in terms of just like actually coming back? I mean, because if someone like that turned up to me after that all that time, I'd have told him fuck off.
You probably would have, right? But we've seen what Greg, or the character of Greg in this film, is like. I don't know if he's actually really like this, right? Okay, we're going on what we've seen in the film, right? So we're judging this as a character rather than a real person, right? So I would guess, going on it, looking at it, it's just Greg isn't a nasty individual, right? He's not a terrible bloke or anything like this. He actually feels quite guilty about certain things, and he's got a conscience about that. And as much as Tommy's gone on about it, he feels himself that, yeah, you know what, I do kind of owe him something.
Yeah,
but I think it's more Greg's sense of duty and just not being a bit of a cunt. He's that's it. In the end, he's just like, there are things you've done wrong, but I'm going to help you out anyway, because that's the kind of person I am.
Yeah.
I think it's more down to Greg as a person than it is to, to anything Tommy really does. Because Tommy treats him pretty badly at one point. He does get very selfish. And I think that, again, goes back to the whole thing of, he's basically lonely. He's probably had, in his life, he's probably had people shit on him from a great height. Maybe be shunned. Maybe, as you pointed out yourself, he's the guy that's always stood by the cool kids, or wanted to be in with the cool kids. And it's the whole thing of, when you leave, like, your previous school and you go on to college, or you go on to sixth form or something like this, and you kind of try and reinvent yourself. There's an opportunity to become something completely different. And I think Tommy realizes that. And so that's what he went for it. But who knows? Maybe you'll find that in his past, Tommy really wasn't that much. Maybe Tommy was that sort of very lonely kid who didn't really have any friends, because where are his mates in this film?
He has them. He has. Greg is his only mate, isn't he?
That's it. This is what you see. And when you look at that, when you see that Greg's got friends, right? Greg's got mates. He knows people, right? He's able to form a relationship with a woman in the bar straight away.
Yeah.
Right? Tommy doesn't do any of that. Tommy has business associates. The people he buys all the equipment from, right? This is it. These are not friends of his. These are people he's looked up and gone to see. You know, none of these are like his best. He's like a mate who's come out to see him and see how he is. He's got no one. No one at all. Think, you know, going to the acting class and stuff like that. Yeah, it's a dream of his to be an actor, to be this, play the great hero and that. But I don't think he was planning on. I mean, that Greg coming after him and talking to him, that's just a happy accident. That is.
Yeah.
For him.
So overall, sorry if I'm going back more to Elton, but it's just because he hasn't seen The Room. He's got no context apart from this film. I mean, so going back to this, I mean, did you overall like this film? And if as someone who has not seen The Room, would it make you now go and rewatch The Room then, Elton?
I loved this movie. I was so pleased to watch this. I went into this going, oh, what are we getting into here? Because I hadn't seen The Room. And do you know what? No, it doesn't make me want to watch The Room. I think I would probably have more fun watching this than I would The Room. Watching The Room now may ruin this this film for me. And I really enjoyed this movie. I didn't expect to enjoy this at all. I thought I'd be coming here going, that's bollocks, they're all wankers and they all should die in a fire. But, you know, I'm not. I'm in totally a different aspect of what I expected it to be. Watching the end credits as well, where they're putting it side by side, I think that's all I need to watch. That's kind of all the main parts, isn't it? I know we didn't get the high doggy thing, but it was there in when we saw it being recorded. I was like, oh, okay. I hadn't seen that before, and so that's quite amusing. And okay, right, I've heard high doggy before, but yeah, it kind of worked. But watching the little things at the end, I think that's all I needed. And do you know, I'm really happy sitting here saying, no, I don't need to see that. I've seen this. I've really enjoyed that. But it does highlight one thing for me. Jim, you said this as well about this, the end credits being spot on. Now, this is what I mean about when people remake things or try to do like a prequel that leads into like a real famous movie, i.e. The Thing with Two-Face. And when they made that and it looked nothing like the original, there are no excuses. And then you look at this film and look how closely they got that. Now, there are subtle differences, and you can wipe them away. That's not a problem. You can have subtle differences, but when it's totally inaccurate, it's unacceptable. But this is just bang on the money, isn't it? It really is. And you're like, okay, someone has really paid attention to this. This has been made with love, even though some of it is shitty for someone. It's still made with love, and it means something to someone to pass this on. And that's the whole story I came out with. I'm really happy with this because this it is a love letter to that whole Room experience.
Yeah. Cool. And any final thoughts from you guys? Other guys? Jim? Darren?
On the Greg and Tommy reunion,
yes.
had another sort of movie parallel.
Oh, yeah.
It's like the end of Spinal Tap.
Yeah. It's fair enough.
Sort of slightly roles reversed because, you know, if it's St. Hubbins and Nigel Tufnell fall out because Nigel's girlfriend comes on tour with them.
Yeah.
And that breaks up the band.
Yeah.
But then Nigel turns up at the end and says, well, we've got an offer on the table.
Yeah.
And then it's kind of, Hubbins says, yeah, fuck off, no. But then when he's on stage, he's kind of, no, something, we go way back together. Come on, get the guitar, come on, come back to the band. Let's do this.
Yeah.
And then I feel that's kind of very much, I don't know if that's the true story of it, but certainly in this movie, it's that kind of reconciliation of kind of these two have gone through all of this and we'll get to this. And, the end scene is very much kind of, I think, that's kind of very much a telescoping of what actually happened over a period of several years where the Rum gained a cult following.
Yeah.
But that would be just tedious to show on film.
Yeah, exactly.
You'll be a montage. You don't want to end your film on that kind of a montage. 6 months later, someone in the room going, oh, it's quite funny.
Yeah.
Get online and tell everybody. That would be terrible.
Yeah. Cool.
But I mean, I think kind of it's one of those things. Actually, it is kind of it's the perfect partner for a double bill with Ed Wood.
Yeah, that parallel that didn't even register while I was watching it, but that's absolutely bang on the money.
The film's about misfits and generally about how the insanity of making a movie. I mean, if you watch a lot of making of documentaries like that, Hearts of Darkness and Lost
in La Mancha is the one.
Yeah, it's kind of you don't see Tommy at his best on the movie set, but he wasn't fucking firing guns at the actors to make him jump like William Friedkin did on The Exorcist, or how Stanley Kubrick treated Cello Val. You know what I mean? It's kind of,
yeah.
Movie sets, some fucking mad shit happens on those things. They are like insane pressure cookers.
Yeah.
I mean, to be honest, considering how bad The Room is, I'm amazed someone wasn't killed making it, frankly, just through incompetence.
Yeah, almost like that bit when Seth Rogen pays in the check and he goes, I'm not expecting this to pay. And the bloke went, yep, that's fine. What, you mean it went through? That sudden shock that actually, hold on, this might actually be real and they've actually got some money.
He was good in it as well, wasn't he?
Seth Rogen was better than most times when I see Seth Rogen, because normally I just end up rolling my eyes for a lot of his stoner stuff. But I did have to say that he was, because that I've been on a few sets before and I've seen that sort of thing. There's the one professional who's just like, I know this is shit, I know this is bullshit, but I will do whatever you guys want because as long as the paycheck goes through, I'm your man. He's just like, and he's being super like positive, reading this bullshit lines out, going, "Yep, right, brilliant, great take." And then like sort of like towards the end, he's kind of starting to lose his pieces with some of the stuff, and he's like, "Yep, cool, okay, that's fine. It's a wrap. It's in the take." Especially that whole bit with them on the roof when he's going. He's just told you that he's recovering from drugs and his mum's died and all this sort of thing, and you're just not giving a human reaction, man. And Wiseau's just like, ha ha ha, that's a great story. That's a great story, Mark. Ha 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 ha. And it's like, okay, take 30, we're done. Well done. It looks like we've got it. And it's just like, I've seen people like that before. So his character was my favourite one in the film, actually, to be honest. I was kind of sad when they fired him. Anyway, so has anyone got any last thoughts, or we'll wrap it up there?
That's all good, I think.
Yeah,
I'm done. Yeah.
All good. Right. Okay. Cool. Well, basically, if anybody else has watched The Disaster Artist, has any little thoughts, wants to throw their 2 penny worth in, just send us a brief email and send it through to feedback@blackdogpodcast.com. And we'll read it out next week. So if there's anything we've said you might want to address, bring it up, send it in, and we'll put it on air next week. Anyway, now it's time for next week's film. So next week's film was picked by Mr. McManus, He picked this one, and it's on Netflix. And over to you, Elton. It is
Quentin Tarantino's Inglourious Bastards.
There you go, Inglourious Bastards. In the whole of Black Dog history, I think this is the second Tarantino movie we've done. So 400 episodes from the previous Black Dog, and now this one. I think that's it. We did Pulp Fiction. Pump Fiction?
Pulp Fiction.
I think that's a different kind of film altogether, Lee.
Oh God! What's Babe Station?
How long is that offer from Pornhub going on?
Oh, what the free lock-in premium? I don't know. It's 30 days.
You've still got at least a week.
Yeah. Well, I don't know, but there's an achievement now on my PlayStation wall that says completed.
Pulp Fiction, there'll be scenes where people are fully clothed and then completely naked and then half clothed, and you have to work out how they got to that situation.
Well, I was actually going to say it's actually something to do with a shoe shop, but you guys just went to you went to porn straight away. I'm not judging. I'm not judging at all. But anyway, so yeah, Inglourious Bastards, eh?
I've put this up because I think this is Quentin Tarantino's finest moment.
Oh, now that's controversial, but fair enough. We'll probably have a lot to say about that then. Okay, have we all seen it?
No.
You've never seen it?
No.
Ah, okay. Jim, have you seen it?
I have indeed.
Okay, what did you think of it? Are you looking forward to the next watch?
It's a long film, but it's a rewarding one, I think. I'll be interested to see what I make of it this time round.
Yeah, me too, because I saw it at the cinema, preview screening, and I remember coming out of the cinema with Danny Graydon, and the pair of us spent like about 2 hours in the pub afterwards. I think being less than kind about it, I think, is probably the best way of putting it.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
But that said, it's for me, the last time I watched it, it's done a Matrix where I found myself finding it on Film 4, and it was just playing in the background. And when I wasn't it's another Tarantino movie, I've got to watch this. And I just accepted it for what it was and what it does. No spoilers, because if Darren hasn't seen it.
Yeah.
The second time round, I was kind of a bit more forgiving of it. And so I was a bit more like, okay, it is what it is. And I found myself going with the flow more. And so I'm kind of expecting that this time round, probably that's going to improve. That coming to it like a third time, I'm going to go, yeah, I remember this bit, and I remember this bit, and that's quite fun, and that's quite silly, and that's quite horrific, and that's quite tense, and that's well acted, and that's not so much.
Yeah.
But like I say, I think I went into the cinema with this massive expectation of another Pulp Fiction or Kill Bill 1, not so much 2. And yeah, I was kind of like, whoa. And again, I can't say much because Darren hasn't seen it, so I'm going to refrain from saying anything. But there you go. So, okay. Well, I'm interested. I'm interested in what the discussion is going to be like next week, because, yeah, there's a couple of bits in there I think Mr. B might have a few things to say about. But we'll leave that until next week. We'll leave that till next.
This could go either way, really, couldn't it?
This could be toys out of the pram next week. I think this could be our first one for this season, where someone finally loses the plot and goes full fuckety pie.
This is a time where it's like, no, Elton, you're not allowed to choose anymore. Step away.
No, it's fine. It's fine. I was just holding my breath that you didn't say G.I. Joe.
No.
No, we'll leave that for the Christmas special. When we're still in lockdown. Right, okay, so there you go. So next week, Inglourious Bastards. But if you've got any feedback you'd like to send in for anything we've said about The Disaster Artist or anything we've mentioned this week, I also remember that I did see something on Netflix, but I'll leave that till next week now. Yeah, we'll mention Tiger King next week. Yeah, So we'll deal with that next week. So before we go, Jim, do you want to tout your wares?
Yes, you can hear me in one of my 3 other podcasts.
You're pushing yourself too far, man.
Just dropped. What are we on? Yesterday was been the longest commentary club I think we've done so far, which was Roland Emmerich's Disaster in Every Sense of the Word movie 2012.
Oh my life!
Which does descend into madness and recipes for pizza.
And Tibetan monks watching tidal waves.
Well, we were watching them by that stage, I can tell you. But anyhow, I was amazed we were still coherent when I came to edit the end. And there might be a bonus episode a bit later this week as a tribute to Tim Brooke-Taylor as well.
Yep.
On my other show, Hypnagoria, I've just completed part of a retrospective on the late, great Stuart Gordon.
Cool.
And my new podcast is still kind of in its gestation phase, but there is 7 episodes up from the Great Library of Dreams, which is on Anchor FM and Spotify, and basically everywhere apart from a certain fruit-based service who are dragging their heels. And I said that last week, but there you go.
Yeah. But I
got a message of support from iTunes. Thought, thanks a bunch. Do you want to just do your fucking job? Spotify, hour and a half it was up. Hour and a half.
I will say,
don't give me this lockdown bullshit because you were like this before the lockdown.
Yeah,
you've been like this for years in a previous podcast.
Well, I was going to say, Jim, I noticed the other day, just while I was checking the old Black Dog was still with the new logo and everything on iTunes. I noticed that you are number 10 in top 10 front page on Film Historian subsection.
Yeah,
there you go. Hypnagoria is right there. They've broken down films into films, new film reviews, specific film reviews, series reviews, and then they got one called Film Historian, and yours is in the top 10 at the front.
Oh.
So there you go.
Oh,
not that makes things any better. Not for your other podcast, but
well, it's one of those that'll happen when it happens. It's kind of like I expected about a week, but it's like, come on, guys.
Yeah.
Do I have to send you an email? Because I know it's a waste of time, but
yeah. But
I can't do a proper launch until you do that because iTunes is still the biggest game in town. Bizarrely,
yeah.
God knows why.
But now that you're officially, according to them, a film historian, does that mean you're Professor Jim Moon?
Don't know. I might get a novelty watch out of it at best.
Brilliant. Anyway, Elton, do you want to push your stuff, sir?
Yeah, why not? You can hear me on Into the Expanse with Andy talking about The Expanse. You can hear me talking about nonsense on Shonky Lab and cars not going round in circles on the Grand Prix podcast. They're all over at rogue2media.com.
Well, they're doing video game versions now, aren't they?
Yeah, I'm not talking about people playing video games.
Why not?
I'm not going to do that. No, I'm not. No.
I hear there's a big market for video games. This is the new entertainment medium.
Look, I'm very happy for people to have their video games and to enjoy watching the video games. I'm not doing a review of people being fake on. No. I've said no.
I'll show you how to set up Twitch.
No,
you can do your own Twitch stream racing Lewis Hamilton round the Nürburgring in a Ford Fiesta.
Racing around his Nürburgring, eh? Oh, okay.
Well, yeah.
It's a Pornhub again, isn't it?
Yeah, Pornhub again.
There we go.
Yeah. So, okay then. And Darren, how's Barnard's British baking going? Have you got a YouTube video yet?
No, not yet. No. But the local fire brigade are on standby. So, as are the ambulance service as well.
Brilliant.
So, yes. Although they won't be actually putting any fires out at my place from less than 6 foot away. Because, social distancing.
Well, that's okay. That hose coming through the window will do the job.
It certainly will, yes.
anyone on the Facebook group as well, if you want to Photoshop Barnard's British Bake Off.
Yeah. Oh, Elton, you're a genius. Anyone who's got this far into the podcast, yeah, go for it. Come on, I want a logo for Barnard's British Bake Off. Come on.
Barnard's British Bake Off.
Yeah. Come on, people. You know you're out there. You got a copy of Paint. You can do it.
Buns, baps, and bacon rolls.
Well, there we go. That's the subtitle for it.
Buttons, baps.
Barnard's British Bake Off.
Buttons.
Buns, baps, and bacon.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's all he knows how to cook.
And bollocks. Bums, baps, and bollocks. Anyway, well, there you go.
Bollocks in a bap. I don't know.
Yeah.
There you are.
Juicy meat between two old buns. Anyway. But enough about that.
Again, back to Pornhub. There we go.
Yeah. And finally for me, yeah, I will be putting up my my 30 films paintings as and when they're done on my Instagram page, which is instagram.com/cartoonbeardy, and on my ArtStation page, which is artstation.com/cartoonbeardy, and on the Facebook group, which is facebook.com/groups/blackdogpodcast. Right. That's it. All done, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for listening. Stay safe. Let's all stay in lockdown forever. And just remember, you Americans who are listening, just remember the last time someone broke quarantine, John Hurt ended up with some really bad stomach acid. So,
he did.
He did. So, yeah, just remember that. So, thanks very much for listening. Thank you, Jim. Thank you, Darren. Thank you, Elton.
Welcome.
And, yeah, we'll see you all back here next week for Inglourious Bastards and some interesting historical takes on World War II. Until then, take care. Thanks very much for listening, and we'll see you all again soon. Till then, tatty bye.
Yeah.
Bye.
Ta-da.
Oh, bollocks to it.